So part 4. The other thing that people don't realize that, see, I even told my great uncle Sonny this. He's almost 79 years old. I remember this was a little over a year ago when Uncle Sonny and I were talking. And when I told him this, that nobody ever takes the time to look at and realize that God's testing you in ways that you didn't think that He would. And he said for over 70 years of his life, he's like, I've never heard that from no pastor. He told me. He's like, I never really took the time to think about it, what I told him. So this is what I told him. When it comes to, the pentagram, the star that's in the circle, you do know that it does not really truly have power over you. That you say, oh, it's Satan's symbol. Think about this. Who the hell you think, sorry, but I just had to say that, thinks who really invented things? God, not Satan. Satan has ever done corruption and bad things, but he's never invented shapes. It's just shapes that are together. That's one of the things that I told him. And he's like, yeah, you're right about that. They're just shapes put together. So why should that mean it belongs to Satan? Because it doesn't. Or when it comes down to using a goat, you do know that's one of God's creatures. One of the animals that He created. And the first man on earth, Adam, is the one who named the animals, going, oh, you're called a goat, you're called a cat, you're called a dog, you're called a giraffe, you're called birds, you're called whales, fishes, He named every single creature that God made. And you think that Satan is allowed to use God's creature for himself? No. It's like, it just means you like goats then, I guess. If you want to use that, it's just meaning by you like goats then. You can't just use that and say it's Satan's, because it's not. Because no way in hell it is. Again, sorry, but God knows that sometimes I will do that. He knows that I'm very honest because of how I am. But He knows that, yeah, I am sorry at times for it. Even with cussing, but, we're not perfect in that. Which He knows that. But anyways, even the 3 6s, they're just numbers. God invented the numbers. Who gave Satan that right? Oh yeah, people who go, oh no, it's Satan's number. No, it's not. It is not his. He does not get to claim it. You don't get to hand that over, because that's technically what all those things you're doing is, handing it to him and saying it's Satan's. No, it's not. You do know you can flip those 6s and you got 9s, by the way. Also think about that. To realize, like, oh yeah, you can do that. Durr. Again, not even numbers have an effect on you. They're just numbers. Yeah, there are people who like to also use numbers for good luck. But, in reality, it's nothing that is used for that. It's used for, the days, hour, let's go milliseconds, seconds, minutes, hours, and days, weeks, months, and years. And our age, we use numbers for, TVs and stuff like that, and measurements to making things, and also for money. So, why do you think that's okay to say the 36s are Satan's? One has nothing to do with him whatsoever. Like I said, how can Satan even invent anything like that? He's never made anything like that. And I'm going to do another part.